Hello, in this session we're looking at the PRINCE2 2017 method template. So a good way of understanding this is to compare it to our standard PRINCE2 resources pack. This is included for free on all of our methods and it includes the official PRINCE2 management product templates. These are 27 Word files that we produced actually for Axelos on their behalf, and they allow us to use within our products. These are basically the baselines, records and report templates, and they're structured into a library format. We also provide the empty placeholders for events and records that you would recommend, that you would typically find on a PRINCE2 project, and we also have links to other resources like navigation, diagrams and guidance materials such as glossary. And that's all completely free, and you can use it forever, as many projects as you want to on all of our products. Let's have a look now at the PRINCE2 2017 method template in comparison. So it obviously has the same fundamental things, the same 27 official Word templates and links to other resources. However, we then take that much further. So when we produced the official template pack, we also produced some of those Word files as spreadsheets as well, because we think that the register layouts are often better done as a spreadsheet, more usable. We also went beyond that sort of content to look at producing roles. So there are role templates here for all the standard roles, and also a health check template, so you can go through and perform the health check checks at each stage. So that's all included within here, but also it's not just in a library format, it's also laid out for navigation via process. So as you click on a particular process step using the diagrams that come from the manual, you can see the management products and also the events and records that you should be working on at each point in the process. So that'll include the project and the stage layouts where that's appropriate. And that also includes guidance from the manual. So as you hover on a particular document as a product in the structure, it will show you which roles within the project might be responsible for that and what they should be doing. So who's creating it, who's reviewing it, who's approving it, etc. So you don't have to refer back to the manual for that information. So this isn't a complete reproduction of the manual, but it's the things that our experience tells us people find useful in the day-to-day implementation of the methodology. This is a purchased version. We have to pay royalties on the material that are used here, and so you can buy it for £25 for personal users. That's the work on Community Edition or Personal Edition, and you can buy it for £100 on multi-user platforms, and then you can use as many copies, of course, of that as you want to. So let's go and have a look at that in practice. We're going to have a look at that in Community Edition first, then Personal Edition, then multi-user platforms. So here's the diagram. Like I say, it's navigation from the diagram. We can either come through and pick up the various themes. So if I were to click on plans, I would see all the materials appropriate for the plan theme in both the product and the stage levels. Of course, I can navigate through the main life cycle, if you like, navigation. Like I say, it's the diagrams used in the manual, but we've picked out the chapter colorings as well. So if I do starting a project, you'll see it takes me to the materials for starting a project, and as I click into the processes, it shows me the things that are relevant. Some of these may be placeholders. There isn't actually an official project mandate template in the standard set, although we've provided one of our own, which you can optionally add if you want to. And then it starts to take you down through the materials and tells you what you should be doing with all of those. Now, of course, as you work your way through these processes up to directing a project here, it jumps you forward in those steps, and you can work your way through all these stepwise. We've got the events and records flagged up here as well as the various processes, and anytime you want to, you can jump back to the main process diagram like that. So you can dive in and out of the detail as is required. As I mentioned, we've got the project and the stage where relevant. So now as we come into an area where we're dealing with both project level and stage level, it shows us that mixture of materials. So this is, a really good way of understanding the PRINCE2 manual, not having to flick back through it all the time, but it's laying out the things as you should be dealing with them at each point in the process. So a whole set of templates included here, as we discussed. There are also the ability to navigate this via the library. So we have a complete library here in the PRINCE2 resources pack. You just get the bottom parts of the library here. So we can jump to all the baselines, see all the roles, etc. So we've got all the set of additional roles laid out here. And we've also got the checklist as discussed. We also include a document on PRINCE2 principles. Important to make sure your project continues to be aligned to PRINCE2 principles, of course. And links through to additional resources, including the glossary. So that's the PRINCE2 2017 method template in Community Edition. It's an official licensed product by Axelos, as you can see here from the logo. Let's go and have a look at that in Personal Edition. Exactly the same look and feel, because it's the same essential content that's included here. Of course, when we're thinking about Personal Edition, it allows us to personalize the content. Of course, and the key part of the idea of tailoring within PRINCE2, you can choose to remove content from your process steps if you want to, and also to add new content in. So you can personalize that to match the needs of your particular project should you want to. The other main difference in Personal Edition is that you can also run reporting. So I can come and run a project report here, and that will go and get the materials that are relevant to my report from the various source files in the project and launch that into a report for me, and we can see that here. So I've got risks and issue information, I've got quality, finances, activity information about health checks, etc., benefits, plans. So obviously this is a blank template project at the moment, nothing much in there, but it will, as you start to work on the files, that content will be brought through into your reporting for you. Of course, in Personal Edition you can also run portfolios of program type activities, which are mixtures of projects brought together into reporting as well. So the third area I wanted to show you is the official PRINCE2 2017 method, template, resources, etc. included within our multi-user platforms. Here we're talking about small team, enterprise and live editions. Here the diagram is slightly different, and that's because these multi-user platforms offer an additional range of functionality associated with the user and the team working and the organizational level environments. So fundamental navigation is exactly the same, and we've got the same navigation structure exactly, and the same contents in terms of advice and templates, etc. However, what's different is this my involvement area down the right hand side, so I can go off and as a user find all the tasks on this project that I'm allocated to. I can go and see my resource charts and look at my risks. So my resource chart for this project, I can go and look at risks and issues that are relevant to me. I can go and deal with my collaboration threads as well. There aren't any on this particular project yet, and I can also, of course, depending on my permissions, if I'm the project manager, go through and work on managing other people's permissions and access and reporting and all those other sorts of things. So the method template broadens out to be applicable for different types of tool. So we provide the same method template essentially for our different tools, and depending on the tool you get some different facilities. So in Community Edition, of course, you get the basic documentation management. In Personal Edition, you can add on some reporting and customization, and when you come through to multi-user, you've got the whole permissions model that wraps around that and much deeper data analysis of the content generated within your project. So let's just nip back and have a quick look at the summary slide. So this is just summarising that position. We've got our various products here: Community, Personal, Small Team Edition. That's what we were looking at earlier. Same thing applies for these multi-user platforms to Enterprise and Live Edition. We looked at the PRINCE2 2017 resource pack, which, as I mentioned, is included for free across all products. And then we've got the PRINCE2 2017 method template, which you can add on personally and multi-user wise here. Say a whole range of other methods available included for free, and also that you can add on commercially, like the MSP. As I mentioned, in Community Edition, you're not able to build your own methods or personalize them. As you move up through the other products, you can do that. And some of our methods are really only appropriate for multi-user platforms. So, so that's where they are retained there. So I hope you found that a useful introduction to the PRINCE2 2017 method template. And if you've got any further questions, do let us know. Thank you very much.